Rylan had reached a point in his life where exhaustion lived inside him like a permanent shadow, the kind of heaviness that no amount of rest or motivation could lift. He walked through the cold city that November night, replaying every failure, every rejection, every plan that collapsed the moment he thought it would save him. When the latest project, the one he swore would finally work, fell apart earlier that day, something inside him quietly broke in a way he had never felt before. He walked slower than usual, his hands deep in his pockets, the streetlights reflecting off puddles as if the city was trying to console him, but nothing helped. Not the lights, not the noise, not the idea that maybe tomorrow would be different. All he felt was an almost peaceful emptiness, the kind that comes right before giving up. And for the first time in years, he said the words he had always feared to say out loud. I think I'm done. The moment he whispered it into the empty street, the world reacted. The streetlights above him flickered once, then again. Then everything went dark. The whole city. Every sign, every lamp, every window, every distant sound. And in the sudden silence, Rylan saw a figure standing at the far end of the road, unmoving, facing him through the darkness. The longer Rylan stared at the silhouette, the more his skin prickled. The figure stood completely still, hands in pockets, posture calm yet unsettling. He took one cautious step backward, and the figure took one slow step forward, the sound of their footstep echoing unnaturally loud in the silent, frozen city. His voice shook. Who are you? No answer, only another deliberate step. Finally, the figure moved into a thin band of moonlight, and Rylan felt his blood run cold. The man looked exactly like him, just older, stronger, sharper. His face held the weight of battle and the calm of someone who had survived every one of them. You said you were done, the older version said. Rylan's breath caught. What? What are you? The older man walked closer, his voice quiet but forceful. I am what you become if you don't quit. Rylan shook his head violently. No, this isn't real. Future Rylan raised his voice just enough to cut through the fear. You feel like everything is falling apart because you reach close, painfully close, to everything finally working. The universe always breaks you right before it rewards you. Rylan's voice trembled. Then why does it hurt so much? Because growth always hurts right before it transforms you, the older version said, stepping close enough that their breaths nearly matched. And you are closer than you think, Rylan. Closer than you have ever been. He pointed down the glowing street. 6 months. That corner right there represents the next 6 months of your life. If you push through it, your entire world changes. Rylan stared at the faintly glowing corner in the distance, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and fragile hope. The older version's eyes softened as he rested a hand on Rylan's shoulder, grounding him with a quiet strength he wished he had. Everything you want, future Rylan whispered, is waiting for you just a little farther than the place where you usually stop. Don't walk away now. Don't walk away from the version of you that wins. Before Rylan could speak, the streetlights flickered back to life. The traffic sounds returned. The city breathed again. And when Rylan spun around, his future self was gone, vanished as if he had never existed. But the warmth of his hand remained on Rylan's shoulder, like an imprint that wouldn't fade. For a long moment, Rylan stood alone in the middle of the street, trembling, but more awake than he had been in years. The fear was still there, the doubt was still there, but something new had risen through the cracks of his exhaustion. Possibility, hope, direction. He took a deep breath and whispered into the night, 6 more months. Then he turned toward the glowing corner, and he walked, not away, not backward, but forward, for the first time in a long time.